What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to this edition of Weights and Dates with Myron Gaines. You know, it's interesting, Myron. We actually were debating on whether or not to call it Weights and Dates or Plates and Dates, and we decided on Weights and Dates. But it's interesting because plates, as Devin was telling me earlier, are sort of a double entendre, right? Plates can mean weights. Plates can also mean dates, but that's neither here nor there. How you doing, my friend? How's it going?
Chilling, man. Just another day. Just got off the phone with an annoying feminist, clearly. Yeah, I'm just like, man. We're in the game, baby.
You know, the interesting thing is, Myron, is that, and Alan Roger Curry actually pointed this out when he was on my show years and years ago. The average woman, most women will tell you that they do not identify as a feminist, but most women have feminist beliefs. They believe that men are equal to women. They believe in egalitarian relationships. They believe in the BS pay gap. They believe that he for she. They believe in all this, hashtag also me. They believe in all that. Listen and believe women and this and that and the third. So it's interesting now that the feminism, the girl power movement term, the feminism, has been sort of a dirty word. It's been bastardized so much that even though women don't specifically identify as an feminist, they'll quickly say, but I still believe in X, Y, and Z. What are your thoughts on that, man? Is that
Yeah, and this is the it's great because like a lot of people like my content because like I give them like contemporary stuff because like obviously, as you guys know, I'm here dating and whatever. And the moral of the story today, guys, is girls are going to judge you 100% on your social media. So I was supposed to, me and this girl were supposed to go out for like weeks, and I kind of like put her on the back burner for a bit because like there were other girls that were more compliant. So like we finally got around to like planning something for today, and she's up north, and like right before she was going to come, like 2 hours ahead of time, she's like, "Hey, can we talk?" And I'm like, "All right, I already know what's going to happen."
Here we go. Here we fucking go.
I hit her up and she just like, "I don't know how I feel about your YouTube and all this other crap. Like men and women are equal. Like you're telling guys to, to tell the girl to come to you and invest in you. Like, and you're doing that to me. I don't know." And I'm in my head, I'm just like, and she's like, "This is like kind of disparaging. Men and women are equal." And I'm just like, listen,
oh my God.
Like she went on for a while, bro. And I just basically told her, yo, men and women are equal. I'm not about to sit here and explain myself to you. You don't have to come down here. Done. Hang up. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
The thing is this, man. She wouldn't have called me if she didn't care, and deep down in the back of her mind, she knows, yo, this guy's really assertive. This guy's really dominant. I'm attracted to it, but I'm scared by it. So she called me to kind of like get me to like beta size a little bit, go into her frame, like supplicate to her. And I'm like, no, like, nah, bro, like you stay up there in Fort Lauderdale. I'll plan something else. And that's just
the interesting thing is, Myron, that's the reason why she called. She called because she definitely wanted to bang, right? She definitely wanted to have some bedroom action with you. And what she did is she poop tested you, I guess, to keep it clean for YouTube.
Yeah.
You passed the poop test, but she can't resolve in her mind because now she knows that that she knows who you are. So she really, really wants to go down there and see you. But because she let the cat out of the bag, because she decided to stand up for her girl power movement sisters, she cost herself some sausage. She's probably kicking herself in the right now, man.
Yeah, because she was probably expecting me to supplicate to her. And the moral of the story is, guys, obviously we're going to don't worry, guys, we're going to cover Offset and Cardi B. But
absolutely,
that happened. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of value, like as far as like dating in the contemporary market. And you got to understand that like a lot of women believe in like feminist ideals when it suits them, but they want to absolve themselves of feminine, traditional responsibilities while still getting traditional treatment. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the reality.
Why do you think that is, though? Why do you think that is?
I mean, in the dating game, man, it just benefits them because like if they can get the best of both worlds, basically, and this is why I tell guys like you need to be very selfish when you date in 2020, and you need to basically assume
she belongs to the streets
until proven otherwise. And the reason why I always say that is because you as a man, you're still held to your same masculine standards. You're still expected to like, earn a certain amount of money, be fiscally responsible, whatever it may be, right? You're still expected to hold on to these masculine traits. If an intruder comes into the house or if you're about to get assaulted, you're supposed to step up and defend your woman. However, right? So right there inherently means we're not equal. But however, she's going to sit there and tell you, oh, we're equal, right? Like, but at the same time, I'm not going to, you know, if there's some physical confrontation, I'm not going to step in, whatever, but I expect you to still treat me like a lady. You know what I mean? Like I want the same benefits from traditional relationships without dealing with the consequences of being in a traditional relationship.
Well, I wouldn't call them consequences. I would call them, and I think this is what you meant. Women want the traditional rewards without the traditional costs.
Yes.
They want the hot guy, they want the high value guy without the costs that come with it. Meaning that you're gonna have to stay thin, you're gonna have to deal with other women hitting on him, you're gonna have to deal with other women possibly smashing him. Again, there's no such thing as a loyal alpha any more than there's any such thing as a girl power movement activist who wants these traditional traits in a man. You cannot have a traditional man. You cannot reap the benefits of positive masculinity and positive femininity if you are not feminine. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, they just want to take what they pick and choose what they want, the best of both worlds, and then still expect you to still have your masculine burner performance on all the negative things. while really, just like Rolo says, you know, 100% responsibility, 0% authority. So that's what it is. That's what they truly want. So the moral of the story, guys, is if a chick tries to do that to you, like try to like get you to like, you know, what I call like a last minute pressure tactic to get you to kind of change your tone to get a date with her, hold your ground and tell her no, like I'm not committing myself to you, get out of here, because your morals are more important, guys. So, and that's going to go right into today where we got Offset.
There you go. And listen, Myron, I could not agree more. And dude, you're, and this is what Steve talks about all the time. Your morals, your codes, your standards. It doesn't matter if she vehemently disagrees with everything you believe in. Women respect men who stand on their square a lot more than men who bend to their whims. Just because a woman throws a fit or takes the peace sleeve off the table, that is a bleep test. And if you fail that bleep test, you were never going to get it anyway. I promise you, dude, that girl is going to hit you back. You'll see. You'll see.
Yeah, no, she's surprised. Like, I know for a fact that she was expecting me to like kind of try to come to a middle ground. No, there's no middle ground, baby. Like, I'm not about to sit here and negotiate desire of you to come down here and you want me to change and supplement. No. Like, you stay up there in Fort Lauderdale, I'll make plans with other chicks. Because most girls aren't used to like getting the game played back on them where men basically tell them, all right, go pound sand. Because most guys take what they can get. So
that's all right. That's right. That's exactly right. Big thanks goes out to C. Pogson with the $5 super chat. Says she belongs to the highway until otherwise fired. Joe, let's get it. Yo, this dude said she belongs not to the street. She doesn't belong to the parkway. She doesn't belong to the avenue, not the boulevard. No, she belongs to the highway. Wow.
Chris is my boy. He was just at my place just now. He lives here in Miami.
Oh, word up. Okay. Little live Red Pill collaboration. Red Pill Mike with the big $100 super chat. Says the only time I have ever had a woman admit the truth about the majority of women is when neither one of us wanted to have skin in the game, or they wanted me to believe that they were the statistical exception and tried to impress me as the unicorn of all women. You know, it's interesting, Myron, that Mike says that. I think all women do that on some level. There's just one problem. With Red Pill Mike's girl, at least they both know, okay, listen, we're not going to have skin in the game. Like, I don't want to bang you. You don't want to bang me. But listen, all women really are like that, but not me. I'm the statistical exception. I'm the anomaly. I am the outlier. What the mistake that most women make when they do this is that they do have skin in the game. And so by the time they get around to really sort of voicing their opinions and what they think it should be. So if you're dealing with an RP aware man, then at that point you're up the creek without a paddle.
Yeah. Like, you know, a woman's ability to secure relationships and, you know, resources, all that stuff, a lot of the time it hinges on two things: her selling you purity and your ineptitude with female nature for her to sell you that purity. You know what I'm saying? Because women fundamentally understand that for them to execute their mating strategies, you know, successfully, they need to sell you that dream of purity. And if you're not sexually experienced with women, you're going to buy a hook, line, and sinker, and you're going to put yourself in a position with a woman that you don't really know. This is why so many guys, they'll say, you're not the woman I married. No, bro, she was always like that. You just finally saw it. You know what I'm saying? She took the mask off. So that's why it's so important to, you know, get your experience up with women so you don't get bamboozled by these chicks. And then she's just like,
surprise, motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, Steve and I were just talking about, we said that you have the best soundboard game in the manosphere. Listen, I thought I was the man with the, Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. See that already? Look.
Oh man. Hey.
Some people love it, some people hate it. But
no, dude, I love it. Dude, I love it, man. I love the slapstick stuff. It's all good. Manuel with the $5 super chat says, are you on TRT or oozing testosterone? If not, any natural recommendations? I assume he's talking about you because I have a very high-pitched voice. I don't think I have a high-pitched voice, but I don't have a very low, I don't have like a bass in my voice. So I'm thinking he's probably talking about you. Yes, I am on testosterone relation. I am on TRT. I'm going to unleash that into my girlfriend a little bit later on. I told her yesterday I am going to give her 94 seconds of ecstasy tonight. So yes, I'm on TRT. I know that Myron isn't on TRT, but if we can sort of divert off the beaten path, I mean, what are some natural testosterone? What are some natural testosterone supplements?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to use a test booster, guys. Those things are basically useless. The best way to like naturally increase your testosterone, guys, get enough fat, sleep enough. Sleep actually is like critical to like making sure you increase your testosterone levels naturally. Eating a micronutrient dense diet, getting on a regimented resistance training program, getting adequate protein, and taking a multivitamin. Like basically, once you get your life in like a homeostasis state where you're basically like you're just running on a full cylinders, you're training correctly, you're eating correctly, everything like that, the testosterone is going to raise. You know what I mean? So that's the best way to do it. I would never advocate someone get on test boosters or TRT without the supervision of a doctor. But me personally, I'm 100% natural, guys. I'm 30 years old. I've never taken an anabolic supplement or anything like that, or an anabolic steroid. So it could be done, guys. It could definitely be done. It just takes more time.
Absolutely. And I mean, listen, I don't want to get too far into the weeds with this, but I've been on TRT for now 8 years. I've been on, 43. Jesus Christ. I'm not a mathematician. I've been on it now for 6 years, and it's the best decision I've ever made. Now, some men are just born with higher natural levels of testosterone. Some men are not. I'm pretty sure I had high levels of testosterone when I was Myron's age, but dude, when I hit 35, it dropped like a stone. I wanted to be horny all the time. That was my main deal. And it is more than paid off. Like, dude, I still have my muscle definition. I used to be huge, but now I'm defined everywhere. I'm probably about a month and a half away from having my six pack back. So it is absolutely, it was the right decision for me. Please talk to your doctor. Talk to your doctor before getting on any sort of TRT regimen. Okay, and so to business. Cardi B and Offset are getting a divorce. According to TMZ and everybody else, Cardi B and Offset are going to split. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly read this article. Then we are going to, let me blow up the screen here a little bit for you because it is a little bit small. But listen, I think I speak for everyone here, especially in this community, when I say that, hey, listen, man, like we saw this coming. And guys, please listen, I promise I am not distracted. I am texting right now with Tommy Sotomayor. I might have Tommy Sotomayor in studio as early as Tuesday. I can't confirm anything yet. He's got some things that he's got some scheduling things that he's got to work out. But all things considered, I will more than likely be having Tommy Sotomayor in Studio B sometime either this week or next week. I'll be making that announcement soon. We're working out the particulars now, but Tommy Sotomayor is going to be here at Studio B. This is going to be that is going to be unbelievable. I can't wait to have that guy out here. So the article says, quote, Cardi B just made a stunning confession telling her fans that she and her husband Offset have split just months after the couple had a child. Cardi announced that she and the Migos rapper have been trying to work things out for a long time together, and it's nobody's fault, but they've decided to call it quits. In a video Tuesday night, she said the two remain good friends and good business partners, but they are no longer in love. Offset, the article continues, was quick to comment on the post saying, y'all won, leaving many to believe maybe the announcement is just a prank he's in on. But Cardi seems dead serious in her video. TMZ broke the story. It continues, the couple got married in a private ceremony in their Atlanta bedroom in September of 2017. That definitely sounds Atlanta. Get married in a bedroom. Yeah. Dude, it does not get any more hood than that.
my God.
I swear to God. I think your best sound is the oh hell no.
I got that one on deck.
Yeah. Dude, that one's on deck. That one's on deck. In her video titled, quote, "There you go, peace and love," she mentions a divorce might take some time, but they simply, quote, "grew out of love." Cardi gave birth to the couple's daughter, Culture Kiari Cephas, in July. So, Myron, just based on what you've heard there, and we're going to read another article, I think that sort of explains why we knew that this was inevitable. But what are your initial thoughts on the Cardi B split with Offset?
Quite frankly, this was a long time coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just, the chicken's coming to roost as far as I'm concerned. I think one of the things, and I'm, both parties here are kind of off here. And what I mean by that is that, like, Cardi B, man,
She belongs to the streets.
like,
Real dog.
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a woman that you never would want to commit to. We did a podcast on like 10 signs she belongs to streets and 10 signs of a girl that you don't want to commit to. And obviously there is some overlap there between the two, but man, Cardi B has a bunch of these characteristics. And when you have these types of characteristics, she's probably a bad bet for a long-term investment. And the thing is, at the end of the day, guys, dating for a man, if you're going to get in a long-term relationship at this point, it's about mitigating risk. I hate to say it like that, but it's at this point, with the way the divorce courts are settled and everything like that, you have to look at it no longer for love, but more of like objectively from a business standpoint.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, then you're going to make bad decisions and get with chicks based on this head versus this head. And quite frankly, I think Offset might have lucked out on this, because with him, he's a rapper. He's getting chicks anyway. He has a girl that, like, his main chick or whatever it may be. And, this is just an example of women not understanding that there are consequences to dealing with high value men. And one of the consequences are you're going to have to share them. You know what I mean? That's I think one of the most fundamental things that women get incorrect, because and the reason why women think like that, I'm gonna put you guys on right now for the chat.
Put them up on game, homie.
Like, the women do not understand the plight of men in the sexual marketplace. They have zero clue. So for them, they're looking at it through their lens. Why are you cheating? Like, what's going on? And what they don't understand is that it is so difficult for a man to make himself into an attractive person that there's no choice but for him to actually go out there and get the fruits of his labor, because you actually have to become. So when you do become and you enter that 0.001 percentile, right? Because that's another thing women don't understand, is that the high value men that a lot of these girls are chasing, they're a very small percentage of the population. So when you actually get to that level, you're going to want to reap the benefits. And the benefits for a man, a lot of the time, are being able to have sex with other women. But the thing is this: men can definitely have sex with a bunch of different girls and still love their girlfriend the same. However, it doesn't work the other way around. That's why women are so confused, But looks like I'm taking over the show. All right, awesome. Guys, this is now the Gains podcast. Donovan is gone. So I've taken over. My plan worked. If you guys don't know, I basically...
I'm almost done. Yeah. I had to adjust the camera a little bit. My bad, man. My bad.
Dude, Spy didn't do his job, bro.
Listen, check this out. Check this out, Myron. You said something. Hang on a second. Alexa, turn off Studio Light 1. Alexa, turn off Studio Light 1. Turn on Studio Light 2.
I don't know how to set studio light.
Jesus Christ. I swear to God. Dude, even fucking Alexa, bitches never listen. Alexa, turn on Studio Light 2.
Siri's useless too, bro.
God. Alexa, turn on Studio Light 2. There we go. There. Oh, wow. Now that's way too bright. Okay. Well, I'll fix that here in a minute, but the lighting will get better.
That's awesome.
You just hit on something that I think a lot of men do not, or a lot of women need to understand. And I've told this story several times, and that is, Alexa, turn off Studio Light 2. There we go. That is that you nailed it on the head. A man could love a woman. He could love his wife and sleep with 100 other women, but still love his wife. And I don't know if you've heard me tell this story before. I think a lot of people, I've heard that a lot of people have heard the story, But to make a very long story very short, there is an actor, British actor by the name of oh my God, Sellers, Peter Sellers.
Okay.
Peter Sellers played Agent Jacques Clouseau in the 1960s film series The Pink Panther. It was sort of a comedy. It was a goofy thing, you know, him and Kato, this and that and the other. Well, he was an incorrigible womanizer, right? He's a movie star. He's sleeping with women by the truckload. Well, he had gotten married before he became a movie star. So, of course, he's cheating on his wife because he has all of this money and all of this status. Finally, after 12 years, she divorces Peter Sellers, and it crushed him. And people might think, why in the world would it crush Peter Sellers is if he was smashing all these other women? Because men can compartmentalize love and sex. Love and sex are mutually exclusive to men. It's not, and now love and sex are the same thing. Those are correlated the same thing with women. But once a woman reaches a certain body count, they too can compartmentalize love and sex. Not quite as easily as men, but if a woman gets smashed by enough dudes, eventually she will be able to separate the two. So fast forward, I think he's 54 years old, right? He gets married again and he cheats on his wife and this and that and the other. And he's going through all these women and, you know, heartbreak and all this other kind of stuff. At 54 years old, he dies of a massive heart attack. When they found his body, he had one picture in his wallet. That picture, Myron, was of his first wife. Peter Sellers probably slept with hundreds, probably thousands of women. But the one woman he truly loved, that's the one woman he loved enough to have a picture in his wallet. Listen, ladies, I know this is hard to hear, and nobody's telling you that you should like this, but this is how it is. What's the first question that women ask when they find out? Well, listen, I can always tell you this. I've cheated on a lot of girls, and I have been caught a lot. And the very first question they ask me, do you love her? That's what they want. That's what they want to know, because love in their mind is directly correlated with sex. We as guys, when we find out our woman cheats on us, what's the first question we ask? Is his dick bigger than mine? Right? Because right. You see what I'm saying? That's what we're worried about. We don't give a damn if she loves him or not. Dude, I don't care if she loves him.
Yeah.
Is his dick bigger than mine? Is smaller? Okay. I think I can probably, and listen, if his dick is bigger than yours, she's never going to tell you that, but that's what we want. And same thing with the guy. If he really does love his side chick, and chances are there's a less than 1% chance that he ever would, he's not going to tell her anyway. The point is just like I said, what Myron said is 100% correct. Love and sex are two very different things to men and women. That's all there is to it.
For sure. If a woman cheats on her husband, he's going to want to know from a physical standpoint what happened. If like, was he better than me physically? Because men were physical. Women, on the other hand, when they cheat on you, when you cheat on them, they're like, cognitively, they need to know, okay, well, I know it's physical for you, but like, did she get in your head? Am I going to get replaced? So,
did you love her?
Exactly. So that's the biggest thing. So like when every woman wants a high value guy, a top 1%er, but they don't want to deal with the consequences of dealing with this guy. Nope. And just for fun, when I go on dates sometimes, guys, just because I love collecting data on this stuff, I like to ask girls a lot of the time, hey, what percentage of guys do you think is over 6 feet tall? Oh, 20%. Okay. What percentage do you guys you think are over 6'2"? Like 15%. Okay. How much do you think earn over $100,000 a year? I don't know, like 20%. And I'm just like,
oh God, these bitches are
find a guy that meets all three of those metrics, he's literally in the top like 2%.
Yes.
She's like, and then like when I tell that, she's like, I'm like, that's why there's so many single women. And then it like kind of dawns on them and they realize, oh, and it's like, because women think like dating is easy for men as it is for them.
Yes, there you go.
Since they think it's as easy for them, they're like, why are you cheating? Oh my God. But it's like, bro, when you become a high value guy and you get the money right, the fitness right, everything like that, it's like you're a kid in a candy store that you've been waiting to get inside forever while you're watching the girls and they're eating already. So you go in the candy store and you're not going to sit there and pick one piece of candy like these girls are picking because they've been.
Oh, no.
You're going to want to get all the candy because you've been withheld from it for so long because there were prerequisites before you could walk in the candy store. However, the women just get in and get to pick their candy. So by the time you get in there, finally, they've been there for a while. They're tired of the options, whatever. But women don't understand that men have to build their abundance mindset naturally.
Women are born with the abundance mindset. This is why they assume that it's as easy for them as it is us. El Capitan Civil with the $5 says, misery loves company. I'm happy on my own. I'm 42 years old. I don't tolerate idiots, full stop. Appreciate that. C-Dub with the $10 super chat says a woman's attraction to a man is directly and inversely related to her ability to move him off his square. The more a man gives into a woman, the less action he gets from her. Real talk. Very good super chat. Red Pill Mike with another $5 super chat says the world has not produced enough tampons to equate the black pill responses to the short YouTube clip of Donovan and Myron addressing them. Yeah, I saw that. It's actually quite funny. And I don't read the comments. I don't read the comments at all, but I knew that it had a lot more dislikes than likes. I was like, yep, good. That was the intent. I mean, listen, man. And it was funny because my I'm right now, I'm averaging like 200 subscribers a day. I think I probably got like 54 that day. I was like, yep, I have now purged. I've now purged a lot of subscribers. Dude, I'm telling you, man, this is the difference between men who want to change and men who think they want to change. Donovan is this and Donovan's a legend until I hit him right in the truth. Oh, well, da. You know what? Go F yourself. Go bleep yourself. I don't care. Unsubscribe from my channel. Unsubscribe from my Patreon. Don't give a damn. Like, I'm not changing my message to appease you weaklings.
Yeah.
Manuel with the $5 super chat says preach. J Manuel with the $5 super sticker. Cameron Barton says Peter Sellers' last/current wife was a dime in her 20s when she died. Wow, that is very, very interesting. Did not know that. I am going to open up the phone lines. Surprise, surprise. The phone lines are open. 914-205-5356. 914-205-5356 is the number to call if you want to get in on the conversation. We are only taking questions and or comments about Cardi B. Yes. Why don't we wait for the phone lines to queue up? Let's take
one last thing I was going to.
No, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
No. Of course, brother. The only thing I was going to say, just to tie everything back for you guys, Cardi B is another woman that fundamentally does not understand that dealing with high value men comes with consequences. You know what I'm saying? She thinks, oh, well, I'm off the CC. I want to be in a committed relationship now, and you need to adhere to that program. But what she doesn't understand is that Offset is now coming into his prime. Yep. Just like when she was hot stripping at 18, 20, 21 in New York City, and she didn't want to settle down. Now he's into his prime. And I think a lot of women don't understand this dynamic that we're on inverse sexual market value platforms. You know what I'm saying? So like as we start to go up, they go down. So that's all I wanted to add in there.
Yeah, it's funny. Girls don't want to settle down when they're in their sexual prime. Yet when a man hits his sexual prime and she manages to lock him down and he starts to take advantage, oh, now it's a problem. Well, I listen, I told him I didn't want to settle down. All right, cool. Well, understand that works both ways. That absolutely works both ways. Definite G says the WAP is not enough. Dude, the WAP is, dude, I'm gonna tell you what. Listen, check this out. Let me put you up on game here. The WAP is already done. The WAP is already mine. Like the WAP, that's a prerequisite. I'm already getting the WAP before I'm even thinking about committing, right? And what Cardi B has to understand is she's not, listen, to me, she's not attractive. I mean, I don't know, man. She's just not attractive to me. She, I don't know. It's that doesn't matter. I'm sure that there are a lot of guys who would.
I got a point about the WAP. I don't know if you want to keep reading.
Go ahead. No, listen, we'll get into the next article after you talk about the WAP. What you got, man?
What I was going to say was, I need guys right now that are in here, right, that are listening to this broadcast, all 1,000 plus of you guys, which please like the comment, subscribe.
Yes.
Guys, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, guys, because Donovan works really hard in the back scenes, man. Like going and seeing this man's studio was crazy. So support the channel, you know what I'm saying? Go sub to me and everything like that. But onto the point, I want to bring some attention to this song WAP, okay? Because there's other problems here far beyond simply raunchy music. The thing guys got to understand, and this is why I say
she belongs to the streets
until proven, guys, is because we live in a society now that encourages certain behaviors to be that for women that are not conducive to good long-term relationships. Okay, a lot of women look up to Cardi B, guys. A lot of women look up to Nicki Minaj. A lot of women, used to look up to Lil Kim back in the day,
like Swift, Kim Kardashian.
Exactly, you know what I mean? Like these. Basically, women that use their sexuality to monetize. That's why we have an OnlyFans economy right now,
right.
And an Instagram is a Snapchat premium economy. And this all is to let you guys understand this. Women have understood the fact now that they don't have to adhere to traditional feminine traits to get a guy.
That's right.
since they no longer have to compete on a feminine standard, their quality is like deteriorating.
That's right.
Cardi B said in the
that's
song.
Why they're good for nothing. That's why that's why they don't bring anything to the table but the WAP, if that.
Absolutely. And in the song, she actually exemplifies that. She says, I don't cook, don't clean, but I still got a ring.
That's right.
And I want you guys to understand that when she says that, that's what a lot of women are saying. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like the standard. Like girls want to be able to do the least and still get compliance from men, because most guys don't have the balls to hold a woman accountable to her traditional roles when she's expecting you to adhere to yours. She's going to expect you to protect her, pay for things, be the strong masculine man, but she doesn't want to hold on to her traditional feminine traits of cooking for you, cleaning for you. Oh, you're a misogynist. Okay, call me a misogynist when I got to deal with this intruder and I might die to protect you. Am I a misogynist then? No. You know what I'm saying? I'm your protector, your hero. So I've got to understand that and move accordingly and understand that most women believe in this narrative that I don't necessarily have to do anything for the express pleasure of a man because I can get it simply by giving up sex. But women are realizing, oh, maybe I might have to do more now because marriage rates are dropping. Guys aren't, committing as much. Guys understand that walking down that aisle, you know what I'm saying?
It was at this moment he knew he fucked up.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, guys are understanding this, and dudes are waking up every single day, man. I mean, you getting invited by Dr. Phil is testament to that guys are waking up. So I just want to touch on that little point there with the WAP and how need to be aware and protect themselves.
Yeah, I told Dr. Phil, what, Myron?
You told them, I
told him, that is the funniest, dude. That is the funniest sound ever, man. Yeah, man. That was a trap. That was absolutely a trap. I think it was.
1,000%.
Yeah, he just insulted my intelligence.
When you told me the first, I was like, bro, he's gonna try to roost you.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
You know,
he didn't have a chance. What I'm going to do, the phone lines are filling up. We'll get to you guys in just a second. Here. Give me a second. Find out. All right. Very good. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read an article called Cardi B Explains Why She Drugged and Robbed Men. And the reason I'm going to read this article is because it ties into the very idea of hypergamy and the fact that this divorce was inevitable. So the article starts. It says Cardi B has defended herself after a video resurfaced of her saying she drugged and robbed men who wanted to have bleep with her while she worked as a dancer before finding fame. The rapper faced criticism after the 3-year-old Instagram live video recirculated on social media. Whether or not they were poor choices at the time, I did what I had to do to survive, she wrote on Tuesday. I never claimed to be perfect or come from a perfect world. I love how women characterize egregious crimes against men as well. Nobody's perfect. Yeah, nobody's perfect, but most women don't drug and rob men, right? Like get out of here with that. Give me a break. Anyway, the original video was made as her career was starting to take off, and was her response to someone who said she didn't deserve success because she hadn't put in any work. Nothing was handed to me. Nothing, she said in the video, before going on to reveal that she would invite men to a hotel before drugging and robbing them. In response to the furor, oh wow, that's a word I do not know. The furor, wow, I thought I was Mr. fucking words. Okay. Okay, whatever. She wrote on Instagram that she had been talking, quote, about things in my past, right or wrong, I felt I needed to do to make a living. She added, quote, I'm a part of a hip hop culture where you can talk about where you come from, talk about the wrong things you had to do to get where you are. I had very limited options. The Grammy winner also pointed out there are rappers who, quote, glorify murder, violence, drugs, and robbing. She wrote, quote, I never glorified the things I brought up in that live video. I never even put those things in my music because I'm not proud of it, and I feel a responsibility not to glorify it. I made the choices, blah, 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 blah. So basically what this is, Myron, is this lets us know that Cardi B used to be broke. When Cardi B's, I think when she first married Offset, I think her net worth was somewhere in the neighborhood of $4 million. Well, Offset is worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $24 million. Well, as Cardi B's career started to take off, her net worth started to rise. Surprise, surprise. Cardi B is now worth $26 million. Offset is still worth $24 million. Is there any shock? Is there any surprise that she now wants a divorce? her monetary value is now higher than Offset's. And here's another prediction. Her next boyfriend, boy toy, is going to have a net worth north of her $26 million. I say this all the time, Myron. The more women make, the more power and influence they have, the more money and status and wealth they have, the further they shrink their pool of potential suitors. She was already dealing with a very small pool as it is when she became a rapper. But now that she's worth into the $20 millions, guess what? The floor is $26 million net worth and up. She's not messing with dudes who are worth only $5 million, Myron.
Facts.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, this goes to, just like I had this discussion for the guys that didn't catch the one-on-one podcast with Donovan. I spoke about this briefly where I had to have a sit-down conversation with my sister. She's in med school right now, and she's gonna end up, she's gonna do some specialization surgery stuff. She's gonna make a lot of money. But I warned her back then, hey, this is like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. You need to get locked down a guy now while you're young, because the reality is when you make more money and you become more successful, it's going to be even harder for you to find a guy, and you need to find a guy in your field now while you're still young and attractive that's also a doctor, because we know you ain't going to date down. And she was like, yeah, that's true. And I think a lot of girls think that they can just put it off and just make more money. But what they don't understand is that they think, oh, I can be like a guy, but you really can't, because we can make a lot of money and have no problem dating down from a financial standpoint.
Straight up. Listen, I'll date a bitch that works at Chick-fil-A if she's hot enough, just like you said, right?
Yeah,
Burger King rather.
We can absolutely do it, because the filters that men look for are completely different for women. But that's where women mess up, because they think, oh, well, only buy into this narrative that I can kind of date like a guy and do whatever I want to do and become successful. What they don't understand is that, oh, I have this little trait called hypergamy. I can't date this guy. He has less money than me. You know, and then boom, they set themselves up for failure, and it is what it is. So like a lot of girls, I don't think they realize until it's too late that they're now a victim of their success. The same success that they worked so hard to get has now left them less happy, childless, and not in a relationship. Because believe it or not, like what I always say, like women are designed to look for a male. Like guys, we're self-sufficient. We can hunt. We can back in the day. Hunt mammoths, whatever. But women always needed the provisioning and security of a man. This is why women were totally happy with sharing a high value guy, Genghis Khan, whatever it may be, because he was able to provision and provide security. But it doesn't work the other way around. I don't know anything where a high value woman had harems of men. It just doesn't work that way.
Well, listen. Any woman that has a harem of men, that's a hoe.
Yeah,
okay? That's not. Yeah. That's how that goes. Channel whatever 5NZ says, "Good work, fellas. Nice, Jim Donovan. Excellent body fat, 5%. Myron, Dr. Phil will be a duck shoot. No way, man. Couldn't agree more." Red Pill Mike with the $20 super chat says, "If a man worth $26 million and a woman worth $24 million still don't have the stability to make a marriage last, you would think more people would finally realize the likelihood of a marriage being a non-wise decision." He's right. And you want to know something else? Yeah. Even though Cardi B is worth more than Offset, she's still looking for spousal support. She's still looking for child support. So she is really looking. I mean, dude, she's going to nail him to the wall. And she can have love for him all she wants to. But at the end of the day, women go women. That's how this goes.
That pound of flesh is coming. It's always.
You better believe it. You better believe it.
She's gonna take her pound of flesh some way.
You know it. Christian Matico says it seems that $5 says it seems that the central problem with the girl power movement is there is no accountability anymore. Will accountability ever become something valued again? As long as men continue to give rings who don't cook or clean, no. Accountability will never be something valued again. Guys, what men have to understand, we can talk all this junk about women are this and women are not that, and that may be true. But guys, the reason why it's $50,000 and up to buy a Cadillac is because we pay for that, right? If people were to just all of a sudden say, you know what, we're not paying $30,000 for an automobile. Guess what would happen with car prices? They would go down. Why? Because they want to sell cars. When men stop giving women commitment for literally nothing but WAP, that's when women will start to improve themselves. It's the same with hot girls. Hot girls are useless because they've never had to be useful. Well, guess what? That's not just exclusive to hot girls anymore. That's exclusive to just girls. Girls are useless because they've never had to be useful. So the answer to that question is no. What is your answer to that question? Do you think that accountability will be something valued again?
And as with everything when it comes to dealing with women, because like I always put the onus on the man. And the reason why I do that is because the reason why, because there's so many channels that cry about female nature, whatever it may be, women are this, women are that. You guys got to understand that women are like this because men lost frame. Like if you don't take leadership, they're gonna. And I always say, if a woman takes leadership role, she's gonna lead you to the end of your relationship. That's just the way it is. So I blame guys because guys don't
put some respect on my name.
You know what I'm saying? They just commit to chicks without them earning it, or because they're so thirsty. And I blame those guys because that is why the market isn't the way it is. Because we live in a deregulated dating marketplace now. And it's a lot of the reason why it's so deregulated is because guys give attention for free to women. And then the women are more merely reacting to the market. They're reacting. You know what I mean? It's on us. It's on the men. I don't blame women or hypergamy or anything. I always say hypergamy is actually a good thing. It's the reason I'm talking to you on this camera. We're live streaming. Right. Some women out there have basically ensured that only the highest status men are able to, propagate the civilization and have sex or whatever. And it's good because hypergamy ensures that the best guys get to procreate and have more children. That's why we become a successful society. However, guys can't complain about a failsafe that was there that made us great. Now we have to come back and understand that we can't cry about women. It's men's fault that women are like, not women.
Listen, I totally agree. It's the same reason why cars are so expensive, because we pay for it. That's how this goes. All right, we're going to start taking some phone calls here. 914-205-5356. I'm not going to take too many phone calls today because Devin has to let her hair dry, and I want her to have curly hair tonight. Listen, Devin's going to wear full lipstick. She's going to wear full makeup, curly hair. She's going to have the hoop earrings. Dude, I've got blue balls like a you-know-what. My balls are about to explode. Like I said, I'm going to give her 94 to maybe 96 seconds of ecstasy, and I want her to get all dolled up for that. Who knows? Maybe I'll give her a facial to mess all that stuff up. We will figure that out. Let us go to Spencer in Atlanta. Spencer in Atlanta, you are on live with Donovan and Myron. Weights and dates. Go ahead.
I just wanted to get you guys to hit on the fact that Offset is very much a hypocrite in his rap songs. He tries to portray this alpha, that he's effing all these garden tools, and he's kicking them to the curb. But he married the biggest thought on the planet. So I wanted to get your guys' opinion on that.
This is good. Well, Donovan, you want to touch this? I'm just going to grab an energy drink real quick, and I'll.
Yeah, go ahead. I wouldn't call Offset a hypocrite, because Offset was out there smashing all them garden tools. Because Tricky Trini, hold on, let me go back. Tricky Trini rightfully points out the reason she's sticking it to him is to prove a point, and I think she's doing this because Offset, quote, embarrassed her by cheating. You should have played the game better. Offset's not a hypocrite. Rappers are out here smashing these hoes. And I think what Spencer in Atlanta was trying to say is, well, Offset is not who he says he is. He's out here smashing these hoes, but then ended up marrying one of the biggest thoughts out there. Okay, well, guess what, man? Like just because he married it, and listen, all of these rappers marry thoughts, right? Kanye married Kim Kardashian, right? Like that's all. Like honestly, that's all that's out here. Blake Shelton married Gwen Stefani. She was one of the biggest thoughts out there. Dude, most female entertainers, most female celebrities are all thoughts. They're all hoes. So to say that he is a hypocrite because he talks about smashing thoughts and itches ain't ished, but he married Cardi B. Listen, that's par for the course. That's just how that is. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that Offset is a hypocrite because he talks about smashing thoughts and itches ain't ished, but then married Cardi B? What are your thoughts on that?
I think he's a good businessman, and I'll take a little different side. And I think a big reason why he decided to get married to this woman was what I've noticed. Some people do this, like influencers, whatever it may be. They'll get a girlfriend and create like that, that dream relationship, you know what I'm saying, to create that image, because it's going to be more productive for sales, exposure. You'll be able to get, you're going to be a more appealable celebrity to push a product. This is why I think, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett worked so hard to kind of like say, oh, this ain't that serious. They basically had like a great, image consultant, shout out to Kevin Samuels, that told them, hey, you guys need to do this. Fix this image, let people know that you guys are on amicable terms so that we could protect the brand. You know what I'm saying? Because couples make more money than singles. I mean, typically, unless like it's a woman. Women make a lot more money when they're single typically.
There you go.
If they're like selling like OnlyFans or Twitch or something, but that's another thing. But Cardi's a rapper and Offset's a rapper as well. So I think by them having that family image, being in a relationship, it helps Offset from a business standpoint. Now, with that said, he's obviously going to do his thing and he's going to, continue to deal with chicks. Because like I said, you can't control high value guys that have options. You just can't as a woman. You got to accept the reality that he's going to share you. You're going to have to share him with other women. Just be the number one girl that he takes on vacations, trips, or whatever. Because guys will only open themselves on that level to like one, maybe two girls. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
You know what? I would agree with you, but I would also add this. I would also add girls who are with high value guys. Yes, they should understand that they need to share them. But on the other side of that coin, men, what we need to do, don't let your girl find out you're smashing other girls, man. Like, listen, as far as women are concerned, it is. And dude, I used to date girls who said, listen, man, I know you're seeing other women and I know we're not serious, but just out of respect for me, I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want you to talk about it. Don't give me any STDs. Don't knock anybody up. I just don't want to know about it. See no evil, hear no evil. This is, and I point to OJ Simpson. The reason why OJ allegedly killed Nicole is because Nicole cheated on OJ with Marcus Allen, right? Well, of course she cheated on him because he cheated on her. No, OJ cheated on her all the time, but he threw it in her face all the time. I had 5 other white girls when I was out in San Francisco. I smashed 2 broads in New York City. I could have 10 of you. He rubbed it in her face again and again and again. And even though Nicole still loved OJ, she wanted to stick it to OJ because he kept throwing it in her face. All he had to do was keep his extracurricular activities under wrap. But nope, he has been seen around town, this and that. Nicole had enough. Unfortunately for her, she got smashed by an equally high value man, and that's what drove OJ to allegedly do what he did.
I mean, it was a simp sin for a reason, when you're killing chicks.
Oh wow. Yeah, OJ simp sin. Slash and burn theory $5 says he's not a hypocrite. Cardi B is marketable and being connected to her is business. It is what it is. I agree.
Yeah, he's going to get way more. They're going to get way more like positive interviews, more exposure when they're in a relationship.
Yes, absolutely. She'll take him to the cleaners behind our backs, behind his back. But just like Tricky Trini said, it's because he humiliated her. Listen, Offset had to play the game better, man. Like, if you're going to listen, and you don't think Cardi B knew he was smashing other broads, Myron? You don't think Cardi B knew he was smashing other broads on the road? Of course she knew. You just can't let her find out. You absolutely, you got to keep that away from your woman, man. And listen, I've done a video called 10 rules of the 10 side chick commandments. The number one rule: don't get caught. If your value is high enough, your woman knows you're going to be smashing chicks. She just doesn't want to see it, hear about it. Don't give her an STD. Don't knock up another bitch. You got to be resposible.
I'll say this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Donovan.
No, go ahead.
All I was going to say, shout out to Ed Lattimore, man.
The man right there. It's the man right there.
I was going to say was basically, and this is the beauty of the show, guys. Obviously, me and Donovan have different opinions, and this is beautiful. It's not an echo chamber. I personally think it's better to just be upfront about it from the rip. That, hey, I'm going to date multiple women or whatever it may be. And what I say is, if your value's high enough, she'll be content with sharing you. You know what I mean? So I think because what I've noticed is that women don't take L's. So if you make her feel stupid, she's going to come at your neck. So if you tell her from the beginning, hey, you're going to have to share me basically or whatever, then you guys can come to some arrangement where, you're open, she's closed, or maybe you guys are, I wouldn't let my girl.
No. I'm open, she's closed.
Yeah, No. I wouldn't let her be open. It would always be, I'm open, she's not. But
I'll put it to you this way. If she's open, then I'm going to be closed. Like, listen, if you want to smash other dudes, I'm not going to stop you, but we are no more, sweetie. Oh my God, that's an ultimatum. No, that's a choice. You can either smash other guys or you can be with me, but you cannot have both.
Facts, man. So I personally think it's better to just be upfront about it and let her know she's going to share you and it's not open on her end. And I think it makes life easier. But with that said, I see your perspective too, because if you are open about it, there's going to be things that are going to like just inevitably happen.
right? Like, listen, if she knows, just be discreet, right? Like, dude, lie to her, right? Hey, how was your trip? Oh yeah, we got a lot of work done and this and that and the other. I didn't have time for much of anything, much, of sleep. She knows you're lying, but as long as you guys have that agreement, I think things would definitely work out. Just like Byron said, if your value is high enough. Ed Lattimore, $10 says, quote, allegedly, respect to OJ. Listen, that nigga did that shit.
Yeah,
like, dude, come on. Like, listen, man, I still got dudes in here telling me OJ didn't do it. He didn't do it. It was the mob. If it was the mob, we wouldn't have found out about it. If it was the mob, the crime scene would be non-existent. No. OJ did it, and OJ got away with it. The reason why you want us to think OJ is innocent is because you're black. Listen, man, dude, I get this stuff from these guys all the time. No black person on the face of the earth would ever bet on OJ's innocence. They wouldn't do it. It's just like, rhetoric just to be. I'm not getting into that anyway.
Like OJ was just like, he walked out that courtroom in '95. Like,
Oh yeah.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. That dude literally got away with murder. And oh, by the way, what happened to him in Las Vegas? That was not karma. No, OJ's dumbass trusted the wrong people who led him into an obvious trap. That's what that was. If OJ were smarter, he'd be up to his eyeballs in cocaine and strippers instead of cleaning toilets at the Lovelock prison for 8.5 years. Don't give me that stuff. All right. Didn't mean to get off track there. Okay, let us go. Pardon me. Let us go to Kyle in Denver. Kyle in Denver, you're on live with Donovan and Myron. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, you guys? I love this tag team you guys are doing. It rocks.
Yes, sir.
I went a little heavy on the pre-workout today, so I'm trying to just kind of talk slowly. But I just had a testimony. I've been using this whole Cardi B WAP thing as a test for the women around me, including my relatives. But there was this girl last week, and I've been messing with her. I asked her what her thoughts about it were, with no prejudgment. And she went off on this whole tangent of female empowerment, how wonderful it is that females, we're celebrating this stuff. And I straight up told her, don't contact me again. I know everything now. I know that I need to know about your character. Kick rocks.
Very good, man. Kyle in Denver laying it down. Listen, you actually had this situation come up recently, Byron. That was today. Yeah. Oh, I'm such a girl power movement activist and blah, 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 blah. I mean, did Kyle do the right thing?
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing that's kind of funny. Like the girl that called me, she was like, she kept prefacing what she was going to say was, I'm trying to be respectful here. Listen to yourself with an open mind. And she stayed away from like those trigger words of feminist.
She did. Yeah.
But what she doesn't understand is that I can see the writing on the wall. No matter how much she tries to polish the turd up, I know what's going on here. And quite frankly, man, you could still like deal with these chicks. Like I've closed a bunch of feminists, but you just got to understand that you guys are probably not going to see eye to eye on a lot of things, and she's going to be a pain. So I wouldn't do anything more than play her. Or if you just don't want to deal with her, you can just kick her to the curb without even dealing with her. So it really comes down to the guy. Like, do you want to deal with this chick and in general? But I know a lot of guys just don't like feminists in general, which I understand.
I get it too. Eddie LM says with the $5 super chat says, if the glove don't fit, you must quit. I'm so glad he said this. Eddie LM, my friend, and I think he's probably doing this tongue in cheek.
Johnny Cochran.
You need to watch OJ Made in America. It is the final word on all things OJ. Here's why the glove does not absolve him of the murder. O.J. Simpson had terrible arthritis. He took arthritis medication to keep his knuckles from swelling and being stiff. Well, when Chris Darden says we're going to introduce the gloves into evidence, Johnny Cochran told O.J.'s agent, hey, listen, if you were to because Johnny Cochran can't advise his client to do something how can I put this? He cannot advise a client, I think in the state of California, to instruct his client to mislead the jury in any way. So he suggested to OJ's agent, who, by the way, was part of that trap that got him sent to prison a while back. He suggested to OJ's agent that maybe, hypothetically speaking, if OJ stops taking his arthritis medication for a couple of days, his knuckles start to swell. And if his knuckles start to swell, his hands get bigger. Guess what happened? OJ didn't take his arthritis medication for a week and a half. So by the time Chris Darden actually admitted the gloves into evidence, OJ's hand looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So when he tried to put on the glove, of course it didn't fit. Try again. Listen, man, listen, dude, I'm going to argue this until I'm blue in the face. The same dudes who say OJ was innocent are the same dudes who say Deontay Wilder won the first fight against Tyson Fury. Same thing. Same deal. Listen, I'm African-American. Listen, and I'm not proud to say it now, but I jumped for joy when OJ was acquitted. I was 18 years old and OJ got acquitted. I'm a black man, so I identify with black men. I wanted Deontay Wilder to win the fight against Tyson Fury. Why? He's a black man. I'm a black man, but he didn't win. What black men need to understand specifically, you have to look at things objectively. No, it's not easy to do, but these people you have to think about how stupid you're making yourself sound. All of the evidence pointed to OJ. Nobody can account for his whereabouts during the murder. He had a cut. There was blood all over the Bronco. This is ridiculous. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Anybody who says they think OJ is innocent is a fucking liar. I don't want to hear it anymore. Jesus Christ.
Thanks.
Really, nigga?
Yeah, say OJ's. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. Dude, OJ would tell you, hell yeah, I did that shit and I got away with it too. Bernard Obi with the $10 super chat says Offset will be good in the end. Cardi B will be another. Amber Rose and Nicki Minaj went from successful rappers to unknown street dudes as they got older. Wow.
That's 100% facts. That is 1,000% facts. Yep.
Wow. Very good. Very, very good. Nick Penn with the $10 super chat says, hey, bros, salute. Just showing support. Appreciate that. Cowdenicus says, that's like Kobe in Denver. If the D don't fit. Wow.
That would deserve the air horn, bro.
Damn. Too soon? Is it too soon? Like, I don't know. Kobe just died. Is that too soon?
No, I mean, it's everybody knows that chick like lied on Kobe, man. Like everybody knows. Like she made a rap song. I think you can find it on YouTube. She actually made a rap song about Kobe raping her.
Oh, stop it!
Dude,
you better be lying.
Dude, it's somewhere on the internet. Someone sent it to me. I can go back and dig it up and send it to you. But like she made like a song or something, or like she was doing a stand-up comedy thing talking about it. It's ridiculous, man. Like everybody knew that she lied on Kobe, man. R.I.P. to the great man.
Yeah, dude. Kobe, Kobe was.
I love Kobe Bryant.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let us go to Peter in Seattle. Peter in Seattle wants to know if there's a way to mitigate risk after getting married. Elaborate on that for me, Peter.
So I'm new to the red pill and just learning all this stuff. I don't really know how YouTube algorithm somehow just introduced me to you and the rest of the red pill, and so I'm just kind of learning this stuff. And
okay,
I'm already married, so I haven't been burned yet, but the clock is ticking, and I'm getting on my purpose. I'm starting to lift more. I'm starting to try to take frame back from stuff I've let go to my wife, because even now I'm still I'm a lot of beta and a lot of things.
Okay,
and I'm just trying to there's no guarantee, right? And
right.
At any time she could say I'm out, and right. So I'm just trying to see what Myron said earlier is that relationship with women is more about mitigating risk and less about finding love, right? That love thing is gone. So I'm just trying to see, for those who are just being introduced to the game, introduced to red pill later on while married, is there any way to mitigate that risk already and start trying to move things around outside of just, getting more on your purpose and be more of the top alpha that that's available to her?
Absolutely.
If that makes any sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. Peter, stay on the line here. Let me ask you a few questions. How old are you? How old is she?
I'm 37 and she's 39.
Okay. So she's 2 years older than you are. How long have you been married?
Yep. We've been married 5 years.
Okay. Do you or her have any kids together or from another marriage or relationship?
One kid.
Okay.
One kid together.
One kid together. Okay.
One kid together.
Okay. Very good. Okay. So
class in session, guys. Listen up what Donovan's going to say here.
Now, check this out, Peter. Number one, you're on the right track, okay? You are aware of the situation. You understand that you understand women for who and what they really are. Well, Peter, here's the thing. Your value at 37 years old is infinitely higher than your wife's value is at 39 years old.
Thanks.
Right? Now, up until today, she knew it, but you didn't. But now you know it, right? And the minute she knows she'll start to fall back in line. Just like you said, there are no guarantees. All you can do really is mitigate the risk. So what you need to do to mitigate the risk, number one, you need to have a lawyer on standby. And again, I'm not saying that you should divorce your wife or anything like that. Listen, I'm sure you love your wife very much. I'm sure she loves you. But what you need to understand is that, just like you said, she could go feral at any time for no reason at all. So what you need to do, just have a lawyer on standby. Give him a $1,500 retainer just to maybe call up and bounce a few questions off of your attorney. Let him know, listen, I love my wife. I don't foresee us getting a divorce anytime soon. But, however, should things start to go a little sideways, then I might reach out to you. Here's the second thing you need to do. You need to pay attention, caller. Pay attention, Peter. And the reason I say this is because women tell us that they are cheating or about to cheat or thinking about cheating before they actually do it. I saw a Reddit post that Devin sent me today. I think the guy was like 25, 26 years old, been with his girlfriend for 4 years. They've been engaged for a year. Well, they were watching some video about a guy saying, listen, it's just impossible for men and women to be monogamous with one another. And his girlfriend agreed. It absolutely crushed him because he thought they were going to be together forever. You want to know what that is, Peter? That is preemptive cheating talk, okay? As soon as she says, well, he's not wrong, she is either thinking about, is, or will sleep with someone in the not too distant future. And chances are he's probably already on her radar. The first time, Peter, your wife mentions open marriage, multiple partners, a guy at work, a guy who pours her coffee, you need to have your antennas up. That doesn't necessarily mean that she is about to cheat or that she is cheating. But when she starts talking about other guys, this means that there is another guy on her radar. The third thing is the most important. There are many things that you can do. But the third and most important thing you can do to mitigate risk is to work on yourself. You need to make sure you are in the best shape physically possible. 3B, I suppose, start stashing away money. I don't mean put it in a separate bank account. I mean put it in a safe. Go get you a storage unit, get a safe. I don't know what kind of money you make, but start saving 15% of your salary. Listen, maybe you guys are together forever, and in 10 years, you've got $250,000 just stashed up for a rainy day. But like I said, you never know when things could go sideways. And I'll end it with this, Peter. Yeah. Just like you said, you have a very good mindset. You know that nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed, but the best thing that men can do is mitigate that risk. So number one, have a lawyer on standby. That is first and foremost. Number two, pay attention. If your woman even mentions anyone with a penis in your presence on purpose, you need to have those antennas up. Number three, never stop improving yourself. Dude, take a jiu-jitsu class, learn to ride a motorcycle. Make sure you are always increasing your value, and you will mitigate the risk of your wife ever leaving you. Myron, what you got on this?
Class is in.
Yes, sir.
Guy, honestly, Donovan just hit the nail on the head. Understand this. Two things, caller, I want to say, and then we'll move on to the next guy. First of all, thank God that you woke up while you're still married before the bad stuff happened. You know what I'm saying? And you're basically taking action now. Second, listen to exactly what Donovan said, because here's the thing, bro. I guarantee you your wife has probably already spoken to a lawyer at some point during or before your marriage anyway, because women always set themselves up to win when it comes to anything from a legal standpoint. Yes, so the leverage you have here is you're 37 and she's 39. So her marketplace options have severely declined. So I hate to say this, but relationships are all about leverage. The person who needs the other person less is in power. Shout out to Rollo Tomasi. I agree 1,000% with them. So you, as the higher SMV person in this thing, in this relationship, you need to leverage that to your advantage. You need to improve yourself and follow what Donovan said and protect yourself and basically mitigate as much risk as possible. So yeah, Donovan, just listen. You guys just got a bunch of free game from Donovan there, by the way. That's like stuff that guys would pay hundreds of dollars to like get that kind of information, man.
Yeah, good call, Peter. Good luck, man. Call in anytime, brother.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, man. Listen, and again, shout out to MLD. I used to butt heads with him all the time on this. He used to tell me, Donovan, guys are starting to wake up. I'm like, look, John, listen, man, we're in an echo chamber. Listen, we think guys are starting to wake up because everybody in our chat is, obviously aware. Dude, we got guys who are really starting to wake up. Marriage is on the decline. The birth rates are going down. And the main reason for that, obviously is the girl power movement. The other reason is that dudes are starting to wake up. There's a movement in Australia called Twig Tao. teens going their own way. You got teenage boys in Australia who are already hip to the script. So I'm glad that things appear to be headed in the right direction in terms of men waking up. Red Pill Mike with the $10 super chat says the only person who could have murdered Nicole, if not OJ, based on the DNA evidence, was his son from his first marriage. I saw an investigator about 8 years ago who was sold on this theory. Right. Listen, is that possible? Yes, but we know it didn't happen. Jason Simpson had no reason to stab Nicole 46 times in the neck, almost to the point of decapitation. Like that's just how that is.
It was a gruesome. It was
absolutely a gruesome. That was a crime of passion. Listen, the OJ discussion is over. I'm tired of dudes telling me he didn't do it. Okay, let us go to Ian in California, who says that Cardi B isn't smart enough to understand how sexual dynamic works and giving girls game. Ian, expound on that a little bit.
Oh yeah. It's just like she will never realize where she was wrong in all of the situation.
Right.
And that the fact that all she had to do was like shake her ass and then dudes just throw money at her.
Yep.
That's just her entire mentality in her life in general, is that she got everything just for shaking her ass and showing her titties. And at the point of like, she made responsible videos of people like talking about the divorce and stuff like that. And you can just hear in her voice, like she just like thinks that, there's nothing wrong. She did. There's, it's just like a separation, and Offset is just going to have to deal with whatever he deals with.
Right.
And with that being said, even what Myron said it perfectly. He said that, yeah, men are just enabling women to do the things that they're doing.
That's right.
They feel like, okay, if men are just giving it up, especially commitment, long-term relationships, just for shaking her ass and just showing titties, what else does she need to do in order to keep a man? If the WAP is all that she needs to give him, then so be it. But with men having that standard and having that, backbone to say, okay, pussy's nice, having, didn't want to say that, but
that's okay. The WAP, the WAP.
All right, oh, you gonna say?
No, I was saying the WAP.
Okay, yeah, the WAP. Okay, sex is great, cool, but at the same time, you still need to do other things in order for me to stay there, or at least stay committed to you, because I can get it from another woman. I can get it from another woman, especially if I'm a high value man. I've earned that. So that's the case. She has no clue. She will always think that she was never wrong in the situation, and that life goes on after, the WAP.
Listen, real talk. Thanks for the call, Ian in California. He's 100% right. All Cardi B knows is shaking her tail feathers to get attention and commitment from men. She honestly doesn't realize what it really takes, because all she's really had to do is put the WAP on a platter. What are your thoughts?
I'll say this, man. Caller, that was an excellent call. I think a big mistake that a lot of women make is they conflate. So guy game is being able to attain a girl. Girl game is being able to retain a man.
Uh-oh.
And the thing is that like for women, they need to be able to their game is being able to keep a guy. And how do you keep a guy? Let's keep it real. Are you feminine, submissive? When you basically, to keep a guy, I'm gonna give all the ladies that might be watching, all 5 of you of the 1,500 watching, we give you guys a free game right now.
Right.
Want to keep a guy, you got to turn his house into a home.
Ooh. Oh wow.
I'll say that again for those girls like to be they like to be deaf selectively.
Yes.
To keep a guy, you got to turn his house into a home. We don't care about your career or anything like that. Turn a house into the home and raise my children, man. Because here's the thing. The guys that women are chasing, that's what they want, man. That's truly what they want. Like guys want to be able to come to a home, not a house, and know that their children are good. And the thing is this, man, like girls don't have girl game. A lot of girls think, okay, well, I'm going to run game like a guy. I'm just going to attract a lot of men, put pictures of myself on the internet, and guys are going to want me. But what they don't understand is that these DMs, all this instant attention, whatever it may be, it's fleeting, because it's not they don't care about the woman. They care about the sex. But a lot of girls conflate that sexual attraction with guys actually interested in them from a relationship standpoint. And Donovan, you talk about this all the time. Relationship market value is not the same as sexual market value. Completely different. So,
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. Good call there. Very, very good call. Benjamin Mikesell with the $5 super chat says, I got zeroed out and red pilled by my ex. After getting red pilled, is it even worth having kids anymore or a marriage? No, at least not in this environment. And listen, this might sound extreme. And a lot of guys, send me emails. They call my show, et cetera, et cetera. Listen, Donovan, I'm red pill aware. I want to have kids. I want to have a wife. Is there any way to do that in this country? The answer is no. The only real way to have kids in this country without the risk of getting your wallet pulled out of your backside is a surrogate. A surrogate. You pay a woman $50,000 to carry, or 30 or whatever it is, $30,000, 50 whatever, to carry your child, right? Dude, and it's all contracted, right? After she has the baby, she gives up all parental rights, blah 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 blah, and then that's it. She can't get child support or anything like that because that's just how that is. But if you want to raise it, if you want to raise your kid with another woman, you're going to have to go overseas. That sounds extreme, but if you want to mitigate your risk, that's what's necessary. It's not worth it to get married or have kids with American women anymore. What are your thoughts, Myron?
I mean, again, this is why it's so important to kind of, if I personally, in this day and age, in a westernized country where the divorce laws are 100% skewed for you to take L's, if you're going to do it, you got to do it for a pretty damn good reason. And I say the only reason to get married nowadays is if you want to have children. Because quite frankly, we look at the studies, children need two parents, you know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, if you really want to raise a child right, they got to have the extended family is involved as well. The aunts, the uncles, the grandparents, etc. We know what happens from single parent households, aka single mother households. So if your goal is to have children, I say a marriage is an option, but understand that there's going to be a lot of risk with going into a marriage. And, guys just got to go in with their eyes wide open. And here's the thing too, man. Even if you get like an ironclad prenup, and everything else like that, she's still going to get a pound of flesh from you some way. So the best thing you could do is set yourself up before you get married, where you meet with a lawyer, you draft something up, you get that prenup updated periodically. I know Richard Cooper, shout out to him. He did an interview with a lawyer that broke this down really well. You guys should check that out. Wow. But in general, it's a very dangerous proposition in the West, and I don't see a reason to get married as a man, especially if you have money, unless you intend to have children, because that is where the marriage is actually going to benefit something, because the children get raised better in a two-parent household for sure.
That's right. A lot of guys or a lot of women ask me, or they'll ask Devin, well, Devin, why isn't Donovan marrying you? Blah, 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 blah. Well, listen, I'm not going to marry Devin. That's just it. But Devin always comes back and says, listen, the purpose of marriage, the only way we would get married, and we're not, but the purpose of marriage is to have children, and we are not going to have children, so we are not going to get married. That's just how that is. Yeah. I love how women try to shame even me into putting like half of my... Anyway, let us go to Big Brandon. Big Brandon, I heard you were in a bad area, but do you have a better connection now?
Donovan, I just wanted to say one thing too.
Donovan and Mr. Myron Gaines.
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Let me start out. I was having a bad connection, and I wasn't ready for the door girl to answer the phone call, so I do apologize to the lovely door girl and to the host.
That is quite all right. Yeah, that is the lovely and talented Devin who is screening the calls. So yeah, that's all good.
So I was trying to explain the Cardi B situation at work the other day to a lot of girls. They were like, Offset is ugly, she can do better. And I'm like, okay, no, she cannot do better. Because a man with means and a man of high value looks beyond her externally. Yes. She looks good in photos. She looks good glammed up in videos. But to a man of value, all they see is loud, crass, and a little bit of a whore-like tendency.
Yes.
The girls at the job didn't get it, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to get you to understand it. I'm going to go out and buy you a brand new 2020 Rolls Royce Ghost right now, the color of your choice.
Okay.
It has no engine and no transmission.
Oh, wow. Wow. What did they say? What did they say?
They couldn't say anything. They were just shocked. They were quiet. They're like, well, what good is that car then? I'm like, now you know what high-value men think of Cardi B.
Wow.
What good is she?
Dude, Brandon, I have never heard it explained like that. Like, dude, you could take any car, Brandon, a Rolls-Royce Ghost, Lamborghini Aventador. That's the best way to explain it to women. A woman who is literally nothing but good for nothing but the 3 holes in her body is like a Lamborghini Aventador that has no engine.
Looks nice parked on the road, but won't get you anywhere.
Exactly.
I mean, you can lean on it, take some good photos next to it. You can even put it in a video, i.e. Cardi B. But you can't go anywhere with it.
Man, I think that's the call of the day right there, Donovan. That's yo. I'm gonna give Brandon TSR Security dropping the truth bombs, man. Like, yo, that's facts, bro. That's very, very true. Like, it looks good in pictures, arm candy, whatever it may be, but when you get in the car and try to drive somewhere, can't go nowhere. That's a great analogy to use. And just real quick, I want to say on the marriage thing, guys, don't ever let a woman bully you into marrying her, by the way. I just want to say that real quick, because a lot of guys get married kind of by ultimatum. Like, a chick will tell them, if you don't make a decision, I'm leaving you. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You got to be content with that, because you can't put yourself, the thing is, if she wants to exert more leverage in the relationship on you, anytime a girl tries to give you an ultimatum, you can't let her have that, man. So I just want to say that too. Don't let a girl bully you into marrying her, because a lot of guys get bullied into walking down the aisle. They don't really want to do it.
Brennan, let me ask you something, man. What would you advise Peter from Washington, right? He had a very interesting question. I've been awakened while married, as Rollo Tomasi likes to call it. I'm red pill aware. I'm 37 years old, been married for 5 years. I'm 37, wife is 39. We have a kid together. How can I mitigate risk? How can I reduce my risk so that I don't get got? What's your advice to someone like that?
You have to have a seatbelt mentality, like Mr. Sharpe says.
Yes.
Okay? Constantly work on yourself. Increase your value, so that way she doesn't turn her neck to see another man. She's too busy focused on you. You know why she's focused on you? Because other women are breaking their necks to check you out. Now she's going to mate guard. Now she's going to want to hold on because she's got a good man.
There you go.
Stack you some money, get you into jiu-jitsu, boxing, go to the gym, download or listen to anything Mr. Gaines has to say about weight loss and fitness.
Thanks, brother.
Right? Listen to, download and listen to, and become a patron of Mr. Donovan Sharpe. Pay for his courses. That way you are mechanically tuning yourself up, so to speak. So that way you do not get blindsided. If I'm at the club and I tell you, yo, Donovan, that guy is mean mugging you. Yo, Donovan, that guy is walking over to you. Yo, Donovan, his fists are balled up. If he punches you after I tell you 3 things, that's your fault.
Makes perfect sense. As always, Brendan, I'll give you the last word, my friend.
The last word is simply this. It's the weekend, gentlemen. That still does not mean you get to slack off. I just left the gym. Meaning he was going to the gym.
There you go.
Increase your value. Step your game up and improve, gentlemen. Be smart, be safe, and enjoy your weekend here at Club TSR.
Very good. Big Brandon checking in as usual. And oh, by the way, Kevin and I were actually going over some, we're sort of putting together our event. The TSR event, I don't know what it's going to be called, but it's going to be next late spring, early summer. Big Brandon will absolutely be there. I would love to have him there for security. I'm also going to reach out to Charles Caballero. Yeah, dude, Brandon is absolutely the best. He reminds me of my friend Jesus back in Vegas, man. He was a bouncer, knows his stuff about women, et cetera, et cetera. Dude, I think that is the best. That's the best analogy I think I've ever heard in terms of describing what a woman who looks good but is good for nothing to women. Think of whatever car you want and then take the engine out of the car. That's what women like Cardi B are like. And of course, they were quiet because they knew he was right. He actually appealed to their logic, and he got somewhere with him.
That's facts, man. I always say a woman gets in line when she knows you have other women in line, man. It's just an unflattering reality of how women mate select. And unfortunately, the relationship only works if she's chasing your validation. When you're chasing hers, it doesn't work, man, because women date up. So you have to be in a leadership position as the prize. Therefore, she's not going to have time to look at other guys and everything. Like Rolo says this all the time. Hypergamy is based in doubt. And if she doubts that you're the best guy that she can get, that's when the antenna starts going and looking for other guys. So the way to mitigate that is you truly have to be a selfish prick and work on yourself to the point that she comes second. And if she does leave, it's not going to affect you. And just by you doing that, she's going to chase you even more because most guys aren't capable of doing that.
Absolutely. The Mark Fuki man says, I'll join your Patreon, Donovan, if you let me build a custom coffee table for Studio B as a gift to the Manosphere. Yes, I got your email. I was actually going to respond to it, but I was driving. Yes, I'm absolutely going to take you up on that offer. I will send you an email. We'll communicate about that. I greatly, greatly appreciate the gesture. And I'll tell you this, if you build me a coffee table, I will give you a Patreon membership at no charge. I don't think I could not in good conscience charge you for allowing you to build me a coffee table, but we'll certainly be in touch with that. Had a couple of other super chats, then another phone call here. Shozen Hanma with the $5 super chat says, why isn't she brought on charges? Drugging and having someone else smash while the victim is asleep. Exactly a also me crime besides also robbery. Exactly. If a man admitted to drugging and robbing women, they would lock him up on charges, man.
Yeah, there'd be an open investigation immediately. And I just want to draw attention to this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I want all guys to understand in here, right? Because I'm in the game. This is very common. This actually happens more than you guys think. Of women drugging and robbing men. The thing, though, is that what you guys got to understand is that it rarely gets reported to the police because men don't like to be seen as vulnerable. You know, what I'm saying? This is why there's not many, battered male shelters or, men are less likely to go to the police after being assaulted, especially by the hands of a woman or being bamboozled. So it happens a lot, guys, where these chicks will set you up and they'll have sex with you. And the next thing you know, you wake up, your Rolex is gone, your stuff is gone, and it happens all the time. It's just that most guys don't they don't report it. Or worse yet, there's girls that will set you up to get robbed. They'll bring you to a hotel, 2 guys waiting in the cut, boom, you're getting robbed. And it happens a lot, guys. So just be careful, to mitigate that. Don't meet a chick at her spot or her hotel randomly. Meet her in public
or territory.
Ooh, man, yeah, because it happens a lot, guys, especially in Miami, major cities where there's a high ratio of hot girls that are escorts and stuff, man. Vegas, they're going to set you up.
Dude, I haven't talked, I've talked to a few strippers. I've talked to cocktail waitresses who all the time bragging about, oh yeah, I lifted this guy's watch here and I took his wallet there. They talk about it like they're talking about making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich as though this is just a regular occurrence.
Very common, man.
Listen, he went to the bathroom. I took his watch. He didn't even notice that his watch was gone. I'm like, are you fucking serious? I'd have bitch, I'd have knocked your ass out. And of course, now she gets all wet and all that. Sight Beyond Sight, $10. Says, for the intellectual pot, a great show, guys. This one is fire. Let us go to Nathan in Austin, Texas. He wants to know how to respond to a girl who says, if you can't appreciate me without sex, you don't get me. Explain your situation, Nathan.
Okay, so I'm not actually going through this, but it's just I got into an argument with this girl in a group chat, right? Because I don't know if you remember, but I'm on Facebook a lot. But I'm in this group chat. And, there's a couple girls in there, and basically, it's mostly men in that group. And it started off as mostly a MGTOW group.
Yeah, right.
But I just didn't care. I like pissing people off. I kind of enjoy pissing people off with the truth. Okay. Basically, what I said was, women want companionship and emotional support and resources, and men, they want physical intimacy. So I'm like, men. Life would be so much better if we could just, if everyone could just be give and take, but it just can't seem to be like that anymore. Men are willing to give companionship and emotional support in their resources, and all they ask for in return is intimacy. However, women are self-centered. They only want to use men for companionship without having to give anything in return, giving any intimacy in return. And you know what? Her excuse is every time women don't owe you sex. It's called consent.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, well, men don't owe you companionship or emotional support, but they don't use that as an excuse.
There you go.
So you don't see men using that as an excuse, and they're willing to give and take. They're not selfish, but women, they just want to take and take. They don't want to ever give and give.
Right.
And so this girl got mad at me and was like, So, because that's why I said that's why men need to stop friend zoning themselves. And she's like, no, men need to stop being friends with the wrong women.
Oh, here we go.
And you're going after greedy hoes.
Blah,
Also,
blah, blah.
if you only want to be a girl's friend because you expect sex out of it, you're the issue, not her. That's basically her.
I got a story about that.
Yeah, listen. First, well, let me answer this question first.
Yeah, you go first. You go first.
Right. So how do you respond to the girl? Well, the answer is you don't get into arguments or discussions with girls in the first place, man. It is an exercise in futility at best, a headache at worst. There is absolutely no way you will ever appeal to a girl's logic, even if she knows you are 100% correct. She will never acknowledge that. This is why you never argue with women. Myron, what you got, man?
Yeah, don't argue with them, man. Like when this girl called me to complain about like my YouTube stuff and women are equal, all I told her at the end was, we're not equal. You don't have to come down. I'm not explaining myself to you. Done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because by you explaining yourself to her, you're basically telling her that her argument actually has some merit. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that you got to understand that women are never going to accept truths that reveal unflattering realities about female nature and their mating strategy. They're never going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because for them to tell you, oh yeah, I like to date guys that are, that are financially more stable than I am, that are taller than me, better looking than me, whatever it may be, it reveals unflattering realities about how women may select, and it makes them look bad. So they're not going to admit these things. And going back to what you were saying, I had a good, okay, the story. So we're going to go down memory lane real quick.
Let's do it.
So, as you guys know, I'm in the game, so I have stories for days. Yesterday, I went out with a girl that I had been seeing for a bit. We hooked up once, and we hooked up once, and I didn't text her, right? And she hit me back, which is a good sign, right? Because that shows that, okay, she actually, she doesn't belong to the streets. That's one of my tests, actually. After I hook up with a girl, I won't necessarily text her again, and then she hits me back. I'm like, all right, cool. Then I'll reward that good behavior by taking her out. So we went out, we had dinner, whatever, and she had to wake up the next morning. But I brought her back, and I made a move to get intimate. And She said no, right? So I'm like, okay. So we're kissing, whatever it may be. And then she takes her top off. And I'm like, all right. And so I made a move again, and she said no. So at that point, I'm like, all right, cool. And she's like, I got to go, or some crap like that. I was like, all right, cool, no problem. So I walked her downstairs, let her leave. And she texted me after, and she could tell like the tone completely changed, because I just became very matter of fact after that. All right, no problem, whatever. And the moral of the story is this. She drove home. I told her, text me when you get home. She complied. She said, I had a great time at dinner, whatever. And I didn't respond, just left her on scene. I keep my read receipts on, guys, for a reason.
That's right.
Point is, and I haven't responded to her since. She can text me back apologizing. But I needed to stew in her head that that's unacceptable. If a woman withholds sex from you, especially after you've already had sex, or she declines you of sex, that's like an automatic disqualifier. You got to kick her to the curb immediately. And the reason why is because men are very simple. We've been simple since the beginning of time, and women know this. They know that men want sex. We don't really have many requirements. However, women have a bunch of requirements.
That's right.
So me, I look at it as, if you can't even please me sexually, I'm not dealing with you at all, because and this is only high value guys can do this, because most guys will sit there, they'll like grovel, please, or whatever. No, baby, I'm not going to sit here and ask you again. You can leave. You're going to get left on scene. And now you need to understand that I'm negatively reinforcing that behavior, because if a girl withholds sex from you, bro, it's almost disrespectful, because she's basically trying to leverage sex from you in order for some kind of compliance or whatever. And she's her excuse, oh, I got to wake up early. It doesn't matter. We could do a quickie. So you always got to punish that right away when a girl does that. And this is the thing. I am by no means saying a woman owes you sex, she has to give you sex, or anything like that. But what I am saying is that if she's going to leverage sex against you for some kind of compliance, you need to be intelligent enough to understand, all right, I don't like this. Now I'm not going to give you attention. I'm not going to deal with you. And I'm going to go deal with a girl that isn't going to withhold sex from me. And that's how you let girls know that they're replaceable, and you don't really care about them trying to withhold sex. And that's going to make them want you even more, because they're like, wow, he doesn't care. He didn't even like ask me again. Is he dealing with other girls? And then boom, that competition anxiety hits them. A woman's imagination is your best friend.
She starts running wild, yeah.
So that's what I want to say.
Area code 502 callback. I had dropped. I think area code 502 had dropped. I'll leave the phone lines open for 5 more minutes. Area code 502, please call back if you can. Yeah, listen, I actually have a similar story. I was smashing this girl, Mendoza, down in she lived down in Indian Springs. Indian Springs is the hottest freaking place on earth. It is south of Las Vegas. Anyway, what Luce didn't understand was that she was the side bitch, right? I was dating another Mexican girl named Chrissy and banging Luce on the side. And so all of a sudden she tries to pull this whole, you gotta earn the peace leave. So I go down there and I do my move. I walk up behind her, I grab her boobs and bite her neck to let her know, all right, I'm trying to smash. She kind of pulls away. She's like, no, you got to earn it first. And I'm like, yeah, that's cute. Get over here. And she's like, no, I'm serious. Like, you have to earn this. Like, you can't just come over and wine and dine me. Or she's like, you got to wine and dine me first. I said, I'm not the wine and dining type. She says, well, then you're not getting any tonight. I said, okay. I packed up my things and I walked right out the door without a second glance. What Luce didn't know was that she was the side chick. I was trying to smash 2 girls in one night for the 3rd or 4th night in a row. She happened to be girl number. Listen, all right, it is what it is. I guess my little streak was over. Girls like to know that you can do without them. And oh, by the way, all the way home, she's blowing up my phone. Come back. I'm sorry. We can have sex. I'll do whatever you want. Put her on ice for 3 days. 3 days. Now, I figured that she would drop off after like a day and a half, maybe, I don't know, maybe 2 days, right? Because Luce was hot, as in like nasty hot, as in like men would leave their wives for this girl type hot. Yet, I showed that abundance mindset. She couldn't get up. She would not stop blowing me up. Finally, I was like, all right, I'm coming. She told me, all right, well, I'm getting ready to go to work. I guess I'll try to call you at 8. Please call me. About 3 o'clock, I knew she was at work. I said, I'll be there in an hour. Guess what? Her ass was at her place in a fucking hour. She took off work, went home, let me smash. She never withheld sex from me again. And the abundance mindset is powerful, gentlemen. If you show women that you could do without them sexually or otherwise, they will have more respect for you.
And if it's a girl that you've already hooked up with and she tries it on you, like this girl did to me, you need to immediately let her know you're getting ignored now for doing that. Especially if you've already, it's one thing you guys haven't hooked up, because she's going to play hard to get. But if it's a girl you already hooked up with and she does that to you, yo, you got to immediately retract the tension. Let her know, hey, you can't do this.
That's a wrap. Okay, let's go back to the phone lines. Looks like, area code 502, looks like it is Peyton from Las Vegas. So, Peyton, you want to date a high value, is that a man or a Peyton? Oh, wait a minute, Peyton, are you a dude or a chick?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, there you are. Peyton, I didn't know if you were a dude or a chick. Yeah, Peyton,
No,
what's going on, brother?
Peyton, my name is Greg.
Oh, Greg. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to know, like, at what point do you think that the top tier men kind of took over the game? And then the second part of the question is, given that they've taken over the game with the cities burning, the economy collapse, at what point do we admit the top tier men completely failed?
Explain your question.
The cities are burning. The economy has collapsed. The GDP, the last quarter, is the lowest in American history. The dollar, the last reports I read on that, is the lowest it's been in American history. So you think what is the value?
Well, hold on, Peyton, or wait, what was your name first?
Drake.
Okay. Drake, what makes you think that so just based on what you just said, so is the United States going to collapse? Is that what you're saying?
That's why they're doing the stimulus over and over and over again.
Okay, what is this?
Obviously collapsing.
Okay, Drake. Drake, shut the
history.
fuck up! Drake, don't talk over me. What does that have to do with Cardi B? Did you just call up to bitch and moan about the economy and high value men? Is that what this is?
No, I heard Myron during the episode. He was talking about how top tier men have taken over the sexual marketplace, and he's glad that
but you're talking, but Drake, he was talking about the sexual marketplace. You're talking about the economy and the GDP and a bunch of other stuff. What does listen? I need to know what hold on, Drake. I need to know what your opinion is on either the Cardi B situation or the sexual marketplace. I'm not an economist, right? Like, I'm not as smart as you are with this kind of stuff. So if you have a question or a comment, go ahead and make it. But I'm not gonna sit here and let you take thinly veiled shots at high value men. Like, are you a hater or not? Like, what is this?
Oh, I'm a total black-pilled hater. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So what is your question then? What is your question or concern or comment about Cardi B or the sexual marketplace?
At what point?
Oh, man. Hey.
Yeah. Listen, man. Listen. I don't mind black pill guys calling up, but he's asking this question as if it's a foregone conclusion. At what point are we going to admit that high value men screwed up? What? Like, that's not even a question, dude. And I'll bet you that he probably watched our conversation.
He probably did. We're hated by the community, man.
Yeah. Listen, thanks for the call. Area code.
They're watching us. Thanks for the views. Don't forget to comment, subscribe.
Hey, don't forget to dislike, comment, and subscribe, because what these black pill how can I put this? What these black pill guys fail to understand is that a dislike and a comment is engagement. Like, you're still you're still feeding the algorithm. So you guys can hit the dislike button all you want. YouTube doesn't judge it on likes or dislikes. They judge it on engagement. They only put the like and the dislike button there to show us what's really up. That's really what that comes down to. And by the way, that guy's name was definitely not Drake. Okay, cool. Good stuff. All right. Yeah. Area code 434. If you would call back, I'll leave the phone lines open for maybe a few more minutes and see what that is.
A pretty good super chat down. Yeah.
Slash and burn theory. $5 says, Myron, what advice do you have for guys to lose their ego and control their emotions after being rejected from intimacy?
What an excellent question, man. So the number one thing you got to understand. So, and me and Donovan talked about this on our podcast. You guys got to get on his Patreon. We broke this down, but I'll quickly summarize this thing. You got to understand that men and women are completely different when it comes to what we're trying to do. Men are trying to get intimacy. Women are typically trying to get resources, time, commitment, attention, a bunch of things, right? We all know women have a laundry list of things. They're obviously the more vulnerable sex. They need to get higher value male because pregnancy is more dangerous for them. So once you understand that, basically the two genders are fighting each other to get the commodity from the other without giving up their commodity, right? So, but unfortunately, most women are winning because what are most chicks doing? They're getting free attention, free validation. They're getting boyfriend vibes from a lot of guys that they friend zone. So these guys aren't getting what they want, but the girls are getting what they want. They're getting a lot of their needs met by multiple men, okay? So once you understand that, you need to realize that when a girl withholds sex from you, right, what she's a lot of the time, especially if she's trying to hook up with you for the first time, whatever, she's trying to sell you purity, because women know in the back of their mind that their ability to lock down a high value male is contingent upon their ability to sell you some form of purity or exclusivity. Women know deep down in their heads that promiscuous women are repulsive to high value guys. Men are just wired to not want to deal with, not to commit to promiscuous women. So she has to sell you that purity narrative to win. Now that we have the foundation of why she's going to decline intimacy with you, you got to figure out, because a lot of the time with men, the frustration comes from not knowing why. Now you know the why. The how is you basically can't let it affect you. And even if it pisses you off, you have to basically be steadfast in decision to let her know that it's not tolerated. Whether you tell her, okay, you got to leave, or, I've done it before where, I'll give you a couple of my things, right? Class in session real quick.
Yep. Play that sound, brother.
I'm saying, like, what I'll do is I'll either get up, retract the tension, work on like some stuff on my computer, basically let her know, all right, cool. You don't want intimacy? This is the consequences of you saying you don't want to do. I'm going to give you the space that you asked for. So I go and start working. I ignore her completely, right? Then she'll come back and engage me. That's one. Another one, if she's like, if I don't really like her that much, I'm like, all right, man, you got to go. Or I've done this before too, where I'll purposely like hit up another chick right in front of her and be like, hey, what are you doing? Boom. And I won't obviously infer, but I'll just like, whatever. And I'll kind of like make it sound like it's a female. And then I'll tell her, hey, okay, so how are you getting home? You know what I mean? And just like kind of like let her know, like, all right, you're basically, your time's up. You got to leave. And you'd be amazed at how women are going to change their tune when they know that you're willing to replace them. And another girl will fill the spot. They'll change their tune. So the biggest thing is not getting mad about it, letting a woman understand that you have every right and privilege to withhold intimacy from me. That's fine. But I have every right and privilege to get it from another girl.
That's right.
Get out. And that's where guys have to understand that you got to put some respect on your name and not let girls use you. Because when she's doing that to you, she's saying, well, you're not high value enough yet. Because let me tell you something. If it was Drake, she'd be giving it up, bro, immediately. And you got to hold yourself to that same standard. So don't be reactive and angry. Just let her know, okay, this is what you want to do. Okay, this is what I'm going to do now. And I'm going to confirm my boundaries and let you know that this is not acceptable behavior, whether it's the retraction of attention, kicking her out, calling another girl right in front of her, whatever it may be. Let her feel that pain of doing that to you. You know what I mean? Like, let her feel that pain. Don't, whatever you do, don't sit. If she says, oh no, I don't want to do it, don't sit there and cuddle with her and like, it's okay, and coddle her. No, bro, you don't do that. You got to let her know immediately. Okay. Oh, really? Cool. You're getting replaced now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. My advice to slash and burn theory is simple. The advice that I would have for guys to lose their ego and control their emotions is just to go through it again and again and again. I use this analogy all the time. In the movie, I think it was Kickboxer. Tiger Tong Po is kicking the trees, kicking this palm tree, dude, hundreds of times, right? And the guy, Jean-Claude Van Damme's character, asks him, listen, why is he kicking that tree? To deaden the nerves, because there are nerve endings all up and down your shin. But if you can kick someone square in the head with your shin, you're going to knock him out. Well, you don't want to hurt yourself when you throw a kick, because if you know you're going to hurt yourself when you throw a punch or a kick, you're going to be a little more hesitant. You're not going to throw it with as much will. You're not going to throw it with as much accuracy, or I guess they say with bad intentions. Well, it's the same thing with girls. If the more times you get rejected, the more impervious you become to it. That's just all there is to it. If you, dude, a guy who's got rejected 200 times is going to be a lot more risk averse or risk tolerant than the guy who's only been rejected twice. It's just repetition. Getting rejected is going to suck. You're going to go through a period where your ego is going to be bruised. You got to get through it, man.
And the guy that gets rejected 200 times, you best believe he's getting more girls than the guy that got rejected 2 times.
You better fucking believe it. Every single time.
Game, guys.
Every single time. Amar Kirmani with the $5 super chat says, why do male celebrities marry female used up attention seeking celebrities when they can find normal young 8 to 9 non-celebrity girls who will comfort them? Easy. That's for notoriety. That's a business move. That's for attention. High status men, high status celebrities, they marry other high status celebrities to increase their Q rating, right? Tom Cruise married Katie. Dude, Tom Cruise marrying Katie Holmes is going to get a lot more press and going to increase his Q rating a lot more than if Tom Cruise married Katie Smith from Omaha, Nebraska. They do it simply as a strategy. This is the very reason why Will Smith is still married to Jada Pinkett. Yep. It's just a business thing. And this is what Kevin Samuel says. This is why regular men, need to treat their relationships like celebrities treat their relationships. Treat it like a business. Otherwise, Will Smith would have been divorced Jada Pinkett. You don't think Will Smith is smashing other broads on the side? Of course he is. They are married in public because it helps to increase their Q rating. Myron, what are your thoughts?
Donovan, 1000% fact. I'll say this for you guys. You got to understand that for men, a good business move is to have a girlfriend or have a wife, some kind of counterpart that shows that he's in some kind of stable relationship. It makes the guy higher value and it makes him more marketable. A lot of these advertisers, whatever it may be, they don't really want to deal with guys like Dan Bilzerian that are like, living a single lifestyle. Like, even though that has a target audience, that's cool. Guess what? That's not going to hit that's not like a super friendly ad a platform. You know what I'm saying? He's not like a ad friendly type persona. However, a married guy or a long-term relationship, that is much more marketable to in our gynocentric society. You know what I'm saying? Because like women want relationships. So if you could put a high value guy that's in a relationship in front of women, it gives them something that they're like, oh my God, relationship goals. That's what they're looking for. However, for women get the bag when they're not in a relationship. When women tell that, oh, I'm not in a relationship, whatever. This is why girls that like have OnlyFans, Twitch, whatever, they do everything in their power to not put their boyfriends on their content. And the reason why is because when girls are in these fields where they're like marketing their sexuality, a lot of their ability to leverage high income comes from them being able to sell, what do I say? That purity and that exclusivity. Purity, baby. You know what I mean? So when they know that you're like available, that fantasy, like, oh, she's single, these simps will pay you thousands of dollars to buy into that fantasy and feel that exclusivity. Because guys that pay for Twitch or any of this stuff, they enjoy the attention from an attractive girl and the allure of her possibly being single. So if she puts her boyfriend on screen, guys are like, whoa, what the? And they're going to be repulsed and don't want to deal with her. So she loses money doing that. However, men get money from being in a relationship. Women lose it from being in a relationship.
Listen, you're right, dude. I actually asked Devin this on the way from bowling. I was like, dude, why do guys pay for OnlyFans when they can just go to Pornhub and get all of it for free? She says it's the personal attention. That's what they pay for. They pay for the girl to make them feel like they're the only one in their lives. I said, oh, well, there you go. Enough said. Red Pill Mike with the $5 super chat. For whatever reason, it's not showing up on the StreamYard side. He says it's easy to be black pilled if you really think society is why you can't get peace leave. lack of accountability, and male equals male feminist. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, Drake called up here talking about the GDP, and it's funny because he was using terms that he thinks we don't understand. He thought he could call up and use all of these economic words, and then, oh, look, I'm going to call up Donovan show and make him look stupid. Listen, maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm getting my dick sucked tonight. You're not. You're the one calling my show. You're the miserable one. So while you can go and tell all your little black pill friends, "Ooh, I got on Donovan's show," that's good for both you and good for both me. This is why I live the life I live. That's why you live the life you live. And I would encourage you to call back again, just so I can rub it in your face again. Wait a minute, hold on. James Young, $5 says the more rejections, the easier you can handle rejection throughout life. Man, I'm trying to tell you, dude. If you can handle getting rejected from girls, you can handle getting rejected from anything. See, that's why it's no surprise that men who are successful in life are men who don't take no for an answer. Well, these men are also very good with women because they understand that the first no, that's when the sale begins.
Facts.
Eddie Daniels, $5 says, unfortunately, it's intimacy in exchange for intimacy with alphas, but resources and commitment in exchange for being con for beta providers. Unfortunately, Eddie, this is why we're here. Listen, Eddie, you can complain all you want to about I'm not getting from women, but they're getting from me. But women can't take advantage of you if you don't let them. Like, and again, yep. He's doing like Drake was. He's blaming society and alphas for his lack of success with women. No, that's not the reason. The reason is because you are giving up that commitment too soon. You're not making her earn it. And a woman is not going to value what you do not make her work for. So when you give her commitment after taking her out for coffee, already want to introduce you to her parents, it's no wonder these girls are taking you for a ride. Eddie, this is not an alpha's problem. This isn't the GDP's problem. This isn't society's problem. This is a you problem. You need to start taking accountability for that. Let's see. I am blocking this user. I'm not going to mention that user's name, but I appreciate the $5 super chat. Oh, okay. Eddie Daniel says it's not complaining. I'm just saying be the alpha. That sounded like complaining to me. And be the alpha, that's just so, okay. Well, tell me, Eddie, how do you be the alpha, right? Like, I don't even use the word alpha anymore because the reason I don't use the word alpha anymore is because guys can always come and say, well, that's not alpha. No, I think that what you mean to say, listen, just always be increasing your value. Am I an alpha? Am I Donovan Sharpe an alpha male? I don't know. I don't get to decide whether or not I'm an alpha male. That's why I don't use that term anymore. When you're new to the red pill, you have to use vernacular. You have to sort of
terms. Because you got to understand.
I stay away from that stuff because it's such a dude. Our detractors like to take our vernacular and our linguistics and they like to chop it up to add some sort of subjectivity to it. Listen, man, I don't use alpha and beta anymore. There are high status men, there are low status men, there are high value men, and there are low value men, and there are many, many variations in between. Just because you're a low status man does not mean you don't have higher status than a lower status man. That's how that goes.
And yeah, Eddie, just to add to that, like just because you're higher value doesn't mean girls aren't still going to try to S-test you, bro. They're always going to try to S-test you no matter how high value they might perceive you. It's just that you're going to get less of it the higher status she perceives you to be. So like the thing that defines you as a high value guy isn't if she S-tests you, it's how do you react to it. That's what's going to define you because anyone can act alpha or high value, but when the adversity comes, how are you going to deal with it? And then that's a real testament of where you stand. So like I told you guys a story earlier, chick wanted to withhold the stuff from me. Cool. No problem. You're getting ignored. You know what I'm saying?
Bernard Obi with the $10 super chat says it's crazy that women only seem to see and learn from these female celebrities, quote, success with men, but not their failures. And that, quote, success always seems to be temporary. Well, Bernard, listen, it's crazy, but it's really not that crazy because girls never really see past tomorrow. That doesn't make them bad people. It makes them women. Women are based on the here and now, man. They're based on the what can I get right now? Women never, ever, ever think of long-term consequences. Why else do you think that there are women having babies out of wedlock? Why else do you think women make bad decisions all the time? That's just how this is, man. That's just how this is. That is going to do it for this edition of Weights and Dates. I got a surprise for you here, Myron. I'm actually putting this up in the studio. Yes, there it is, man. So I got the stretch canvas made of you and I at the Fancy Steakhouse where I got the 35-ounce the 35-ounce tomahawk steak, which took me
huge, bro.
Dude, it was awesome though. But dude, the lobster bisque was out of this world. Shout out to Steve the Dean. He put me up on lobster bisque. Any last words, Myron? What you got?
Yeah, no, man. As always, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to Donovan's channel. We're gonna do this for you guys. We're gonna try to do this once a week on Fridays, 6 p.m. Make it consistent. I know a lot of guys love this stuff because you get the fitness stuff, game stuff, everything, you know, from 2 different perspectives. And yeah, man, check me out on Patreon, guys. I just made it, patreon.com/freshandfit. Yeah. We have all the stuff there behind the, you know, that's too hot for YouTube that we share with you guys about how to deal world women in a contemporary, you know, sexual marketplace. We're here in Miami, the most competitive spot. So you're going to learn, basically from guys that are in one of the hardest cities. And follow me on Instagram, Twitter, everything's Unplug Fit. And the Patreon is patreon.com/freshfit. And yeah, man, Donovan, thank you for having me, bro. This is always awesome to collab.
Listen, awesome show, excellent show. Very, very glad to have you on. Give me 2 seconds here. So what I'm going to do, guys, you guys know what I do. I'm going to take this down off of YouTube, but I'm not going to leave it down forever. I'm going to submit it for it to be monetized. If it is monetized, I will put it back up on YouTube. If it is not, I will put it on Patreon. You guys know my formula. I too am trying to mitigate my risk. I only allow monetized videos to remain public. That's how this is. Thank you guys very much for all of your super chats. And I will tune in tomorrow. Listen, big day here at TSR Towers. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow morning at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, I will be joined by Joker to discuss how gentlemen's clubs can teach men about the red pill. Today at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, I will be joined in studio by the one and only Terrence Pop. I am in talks right now to get Tommy Sotomayor on the show as early as next week, as in before Saturday. We have to figure out what's going on with his schedule, my schedule, but we are definitely trying to make that happen. So big things coming here for TSR Towers. Thank you guys very much. And